Hi, I'm Wayne Tuttle, and welcome to Chasing Legends. Okay, I'm dressed the same, but at least it looks different. Welcome back to Chasing Legends. I'm Wayne Tuttle, your host once again this October 2022. Please hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment if you want to leave a comment, represent.com, pick up shirts, long sleeve, short sleeve, black, gray, Dutch Hunter Rendezvous, Legends of the Superstition Mountains, coffee cups, hats, whatever you can, all right? Check out our website, www.legendsofthesuperstitionmountains.com, all right? One big word there, all right? No breaks. Get back into it. We're in week 4, right? I think we're in week 4 of our Halloween kind of Oktoberfest thing here. Tell this story. I've told this story before, but we're going to redo it because it's such a great classic story, and I still don't know what to make of it. I don't remember the year. Go look at the video to tell you what year. Anyways, I was out by Coffee Flat. And I was up at Coffee Flat because I remember it had to do with someone who'd been talking, some guys have been talking about one of the gold stories, and they thought it was up on Coffee Flat. And I went up to check it out, to look for it. It was like the 3 teepee boulders, or 3 boulders, or some crap. And so I went out to check it out and look for this spot they were talking about. And I went up on Coffee Flat, and I was up there, and it seems to be a common thing. You can tell the younger days because I'm carrying the rifle. And I was walking along with the rifle, and I would sling the rifle, but it gets tiresome, and then I would just carry the rifle in my hand. And it always felt cool because you feel so much more John Wayne, Clint Eastwood when you're carrying the rifle in your hand as you're walking along. But I was cutting across, and I looked out, and I could see like something off to the edge. There was a flat area, and I could see it roll. I see something down there. And I'm like, what am I looking at? So I'm walking along, and I'm looking, and it looks like a dead tree. Kind of, and it's got something hanging on it. I'm looking at it, and I'd look down, I'd be walking, I'd look up, and it seemed to be like it had changed. And I kept looking at it like, okay, is it something blowing in the wind on that? Is something got caught up on that? What am I looking at? And I had to be 100 yards or so when I first saw it. And I kept, every time I'd close in 10, 15, I'd be look up, and I'd see it. So at one point, I'm like, just something doesn't seem right? It looks like, I don't see anything around me, but it's just like, almost like a stick, like a dead tree with some branches hanging off of it and something black. And it looks black, but I can't tell what color because I'm too far. And I'm looking, trying to figure out what I'm looking at. And then I just decide, for whatever reason, I took my rifle and I raised it in the air like this. And then this thing, whatever it is, this tree, raises the branch up. I can see the branch go up. And I'm like, what you're thinking right now, this is not a tree. So I'm standing there, and now I'm intrigued because I'm thinking, is this some real skinny dude? I mean, what the hell's on? What he wearing? He's like wearing freaking a wizard freaking robe, freaking tattered. It's the weirdest looking thing. And so I just started moving towards it, but I'm trying to watch where I'm walking because the terrain's up and down a little, and there's rocks and boulders. And I'm trying to keep my eye and look down and look up, and I'm seeing it there, and I'm closing into it. And I could tell it would shift, but then I couldn't tell if whatever was on it blowing, if it was moving. I kept trying to, in my mind, think, whatever, and I'm sitting there with the rifle closing and closing the distance. And I got probably 35, 40 yards away. But I got this one point, and it seemed to step back and just disappear, like it fell, like something just walked off the edge of a cliff, like it backed up and then it was gone. So I'm like, start moving because I'm like, oh crap, the dude fell. Because that's what I'm thinking, it has to be a person. No matter how skinny or whatever it looked like, it has to be a person. So I'm thinking they fell off the freaking cliff. So I'm running up there, and then I realized there's no one there, there's no edge of anything, there's nothing, it's just flat behind it. So I got up to that spot, and I'm like, there's no way. It was like whatever it was melted into the ground, and it's mostly rock and stuff. And I'm like looking around and I'm just totally confused. And I'm wandering this way and that way, looking over and trying to see if I can find any place that you could drop down into. Was my vision, my depth perception off? Was it further than I thought? Could come up with nothing. Left me totally kind of like, you feel totally alone at that moment because you're looking around and going like, I just saw something, I don't have any proof of it, and there's nobody around, and what the hell was that? And it's like, man, I don't know. So I was kind of little, so I just decided at that point, I'm looking around, I'm like, you know what, this trip's done. I'm going back. So I headed back. For years I didn't know. And when we did the video, we posted the video, I think I did the original video, we were back up in, I think we were up on Black Mesa when I did it. And then someone contacted me through a tribal organization. And they told me that I was lucky because this is it's not like a skinwalker or a shapeshifter or some sort of thing. They said it's something that'll come, and it comes for people. And I must have, like, for whatever reason, as it was traveling or whatever, come across it. You know how I am at this point, so I'm doing this. Yeah, okay. And they were like, no, this thing was there, but it probably wasn't there for you. And it realized you were there, you meant no harm. You were probably, it saw you as a good person, and it was just happenstance. And they said they were very surprised I could remember it, because usually when you find something like that happens, and I can't remember what he called it. He told me what it was, and I can't find the email anymore, but he told me what they called it. And I was like, eh. But he said, no, it's a very real thing. Feel very fortunate that this has occurred in your life and that you were allowed to kind of continue the mountains. So there must be some sort of thing in the mountains, that acceptance of you to the mountains. It's probably the closest, other than a couple other little incidents, that I would say would be anything paranormal. But I still wonder if it's just a guy that was dressed in rags that somehow just disappeared as I was looking down and looking up. And then I just kind of had that he was going down over the rise or something, and my depth perception's off, because I still don't really understand the whole thing. But I was told that it was some sort of being or spirit or something of the mountains, and that's what I was coming up upon, and I was not going to be allowed to approach it because I would have to die then, which is fortunate. So, but he assured me that yes, you were very fortunate for whatever reason that day, you were allowed to go in peace. So there you go. The stick man, I have the one out there at Black Mesa. You can go look that one up and compare the two. I think I tell the year it happened in that one. I just don't always note. And I don't always remember perfectly clearly at all. Probably one of the strangest, I would say that would be the strangest occurrence I ever had in the mountains. Because, again, I remember afterwards how alone I felt in that moment when I realized I was perfectly, considering the fact that it melted into the ground, because it didn't dissipate, it just like, and I was like, I don't even know what to think, and I'm like 3 hours from my getting out of here. I don't know what to do right now. So far away, and I can't fly away. So there you go, the stick man, which is what I've referred to him, and people have commented on it, and I can't remember what the name for it is, and it was a longer word, and it had a lot of vowels, some consonants in it, and I couldn't pronounce it at the time, and if I pronounced it now, even what he told me it was, I probably would say it wrong. So there you go, that story. I'm still here. So until the next time, and I think we have one more to go for October, but until we get to there and the rendezvous on November 4th, 5th, and 6th, at the Don's Camp. Be out there for the 5th for the big event, Saturday afternoon and everything, and evening, and all the people we have out there. Come meet and greet. Frank will be out there. Woody will be out there. I'll be out there. Be a lot of good people to talk to and stuff. Until then, always remember, I'm Wayne Tuttle. These are the Superstition Mountains. Wish you were here, but you're not. And this was Chasing Legends.